recording. All right. So find your chair. Hopefully it's not too hard to find. And we're going to sit in our mountain pose. So thumbs up that you can hear me okay. I don't see, oh, okay. All right, I see some thumbs. I have my phone hooked up and it's in the doorway of my she shed with my screen behind it. So it's kind of bright, so I can't really see the screen very well from back here, but I needed some sunshine. So we'll come to our mountain pose, so feet are flat on the floor. If you look down, your ankles should be right below your knees, which seems kind of like, well, yeah, where else would they be? But, you know, we don't want the feet back or too far forward, excuse me. We want them directly underneath. So it makes a right angle. And then again, our shoulders are directly over our hips. Now, I seem to like to kind of lean forward all the time. I have this kind of situation going. But we want to sit with a more upright spine. Takes a little bit more effort. So start in our mountain pose. You can rest your hands in your lap, or you can try a mudra. It's a lotus mudra. So it's the palms are together and the fingers are open. So the thumb and the pinky finger are touching and the other fingers are opened up. So it looks like that. Okay, so the lotus mudra, well, first of all, mudras are hand placements, hand gestures in yoga that kind of direct energy. And supposedly the fingers and the hand position translates to pathways in the brain. So this mudra, the lotus mudra, is a grounding mudra. So think of a lotus in a pond. It's grounded, and yet it rises up out of the darkness to create this beautiful flower. So you can hold your lotus here in front of you, relax your shoulders. You can close your eyes. And we're going to take 10 breaths here with this focus. So this mudra creates these pathways of energy or directs energy. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. And then you can slowly release the mudra, place your palms down in your lap. And if you want to set an intention or say an affirmation or dedicate this practice to somebody, now's a good time to do that. So an intention might to be present, might be to be relaxed or more focused, or, you know, and then an affirmation could be, I am tolerant, I am kind, I am healthy, I'm deserving of love, I am helpful. So we'll take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. So we're sitting up a bit taller. And then on the exhale, we're going to round the spine. So I like to bring my hands towards my knees and round, and I even bring my chin towards the chest. And on the inhale, I grow up tall through the spine, start to bring my hands back towards my hips, open through the heart, lift the chin. And then exhale, reversing it. So chin to chest, hands towards the knees if you want. So we'll take a few more breaths like that, opening through the heart on the inhales and rounding the spine on the exhales. And then again, we'll come back to our mountain pose, sitting up tall. We're gonna bring the shoulders up towards our ears and then back and down. So bring them up, back and down, and kind of focus on the squeeze when they come back towards each other and as they come down. Those are those anti-aging muscles, so we're not slouching. My husband tends to really round through the shoulders, and I'm like, I'm taller than you, and then he stands up really straight. So he's got to prove that he's taller. So, but this helps us look more confident, and it makes us look taller. So good. From here, we're going to take some wrist roll. So bring one arm out to the side and wrist roll the arm up and back down. And switching sides. I think I'm going to have to put another camera out so you can see what I'm seeing, like the birds running around the yard. And then we're going to sweep both arms up. You can bring the palms together. You can even do the lotus mudra on the way down. Totally up to you. So wrist roll to the side. Bring it on up and over. And exhale. Wrist roll back on down. Switching sides. And then we're going to sweep, excuse me, both arms up. We're going to push the ceiling away. So we're really, really, really tall through the spine. And then we fold. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. So we're halfway lifting, reaching towards the front, and then exhale again and fold. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Optional lotus mudra on the way down. Good. Wrist roll. Switching sides. And wrist roll back down. Both arms up. Push the ceiling away and fold. Inhale, up halfway. And then exhale again and fold. Inhale all the way up. And we're going to reach up tall again, and then exhale and twist to the right. So be opposite of the direction that I'm going. Inhale back to center. Exhale and twist to the left. Inhale, center. Hands together if you can, and then exhale, bring them back down to the heart. Wrist roll. You can always do a kumbhaka or retention of the breath at the top or the bottom of the exhale. Switching sides. And then sweep both arms up. Push the ceiling away and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again and fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale and twist to the right. Inhale back to center and twist to the left. Inhale, center. And then we're going to exhale and bring one knee up. I like to start with the right, but you can start with either one. So the chest is lifted. I'll show you from the side. The chest is lifted and the knee is lifted. So if you can't get your knee up that high, that's fine. Sometimes bringing it a little out to the side and up is good too. And we're going to take some ankle rolls here. Change the direction of your ankle roll. I kind of feel like I'm doing chair yoga for guineas right now because they're all standing just outside my she shed looking at me through the door. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, the other knee comes up and hug. Okay. Now the guineas have something to say about it. Switch direction of your circle. Or these guys. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, roll into the heart. Wrist roll. And switching sides. That's a sense of humor about the birds. I think they crack me up. And fortunately, my neighbors have the humor about the birds too, because they went on walkabout the other day and showed up at my neighbor's house. And I only know that because I saw it on Facebook. Inhale, both arms up, keeping the spine long. We're going to press the ceiling away, getting really, really tall, and then exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reaching out in front. Exhale again and fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center. And twist to the left on the exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, one knee up, give it a squeeze, and then extend. So it's kind of like a half staff pose. So my foot is flexed and I'm engaging my core. We're gonna set that heel down, pressing the hands on the opposite thigh. So I have my straight leg, foot is flexed, and I'm kind of hinging forward. So my spine is very long. Turning to the side again, or from this direction. So I'm hinging forward like this. I'm not rounding. So there's probably a lot of pull in the back of that leg. You kind of get to choose your own adventure on that, whether or not you flex and how much you flex and how much you hinge forward. So all of those things will affect how much stretch you're getting in the back of that leg. So we'll bring that leg back. Inhale the arms up. We'll give the other knee a squeeze, keeping that chest lifted. We'll extend the leg. Foot is flexed, our half staff pose. And then we'll lower that heel down, pressing the hands into the opposite thigh. And then we'll come all the way up, bring the arms up, bring that leg back, and the hands back to heart center. Okay, we're going to walk the seat bones back into the chair and then walk them forward again. And then walk them back. And then walk them forward. Okay, without leaning far to the side, you're going to basically do like a side crunch. You're going to lift that hip up, kind of in the same action that we did moving the hips back and forward. So you're lifting that hip up off the chair a little bit. I can't fit my fingers under there or anything, so it's not that lifted. And then lower it down. Switching sides, lift the other hip. Everybody looks like they're doing great. I didn't see anybody follow their chair yet. And then lower it back down. One more on each side. Lift and lower. Other last side. Lift and lower. So we're going to press, so I'm pressing my right hand down into my right thigh. I may not be able to have this door open when I'm doing classes because these guineas are just right there. Okay. Right hand on the right thigh, kind of right above the knee. I'm going to press down on that right leg as I try to lift that right leg up. So I have my foot maybe a couple inches off the floor, creating some engagement, some contraction in my core. Also, I can probably feel it a little bit in my hip flexor. So that's the hip flexor raises your knee. So when you're walking upstairs or when you're stepping up onto something, that's what that does. So when you're strengthening that, that also gets fairly tight. So we'll stretch it a little bit later. We'll lower that leg down. Switching sides, left hand presses down as my left knee lifts. You can notice that engagement again in your core. And lower it down. Do it again on the right side, lift up, press down. I like to feel in here, right into the side of my stomach to actually feel a little bit of that engagement. We're still breathing. And then switching sides. And then lower that side down. Moving back to the right side, we're actually going to not press down as hard, but we're going to lift and circle. So you're still pressing down. You can choose your own adventure on that too. Press down as much that works for you. And you can probably feel it a little bit more on your opposite side now. Change the direction of your circle. And then we'll set it down. You can kind of wiggle around, circle the torso. All right, switching sides. So we're pressing down on the other leg as much as you want, and then we're gonna circle. The more you press, obviously, the harder it is. And then change directions of your circle. And then we'll lower it down, and then we'll circle the torso again. Switch the direction. And then come back to center. So I'm going to turn my chair to the side just so you can kind of see my back here. We're going to move right to the edge of your chair, as far to the edge as you can. We're going to start to lean back. So this could be where you stay. We don't want to hurt your back. The back needs to stay straight, but we're pressing backwards, like our shoulders towards the back of the chair, and then we'll sit up. Kind of like a crunch, sit up, and lean back again, and come back up. You can reach out with your hands, lean back. This kind of acts, makes it a little bit easier with your arms extended, just for me. Come back up. Then you have the option to lift one or both legs. This is our boat pose in the chair. You can stay here, hold for a moment. You can straighten your legs. I can't. You're really skilled, maybe you can do it. And then come back up. Woo. We'll circle again. Circle the torso. All right. We're going to do eagle pose. One option, pressing the knees together, pressing the arms together. This is option number one. Option number two, you can cross the right ankle over the left ankle. And then you're crossing the left arm and then the right arm. That's another option. And just because you're doing one option with the legs does not mean you have to do the same option with the arms. So you can pick and choose. Another option, crossing at the knee. If you're crossing at the knee, you're still imagining or trying to bring your feet towards each other. So not hanging out here, it's coming in. So it creates that squeezing sensation. And if you want to try the other goddess arm, so your left arm comes out across the body, right elbow sits in the left, and squeeze the hands towards each other. Some people can hook them, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. So we go where is comfortable, with the effort still being that they're coming towards each other. Take a couple breaths here. And then we'll slowly release. Uncross if you crossed. Come back to your mountain pose. Close your eyes, notice how you feel. Moving over to the other side again, so you can squeeze the legs together, squeeze the arms together. You can cross the left ankle over the right this time. You can cross your right arm and then your left. This is the other option. If you want to cross at the knee, and then the right arm is under and across, the left comes in. So my left elbow is sitting in the crook of my right elbow. And your variation here. We're still squeezing the feet towards each other. Taking just a couple breaths here. And we're going to release and uncross. Again, back into our mountain pose, sitting up tall. Close your eyes. Notice any changes. Good. So we're going to start to rock to stand. So you can lean forward a bit, start to lift your seat off the chair. Woo, I lost my balance. Had to come all the way up. Just a couple more. And even hover, takes a little extra strength, and then come all the way up. Maybe balance more than strength. All right, I'm gonna come behind the chair, or you can have one chair in front of you and one behind you if that's easier. And I'll do it this way, and then if it makes more sense for me to be sideways, we can do it that way as well. So standing behind the chair, we're gonna inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale the arms up. Take a tiny back bend if you want. And then exhale, place the hands on the back of your chair and fold forward into your down dog. Not exactly a forward fold, but it kind of is a little bit. We're gonna inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the right foot forward. So my heel is right above the ball of my foot. So my heel is lifted. You can inhale one or both arms, depending on how you feel for balance today. Maybe wobble a little bit, that's okay. And then we're gonna exhale, place the hands on the chair, step your right foot back to meet your left, come back into your down dog. So your down dog is, the legs are straight, and it makes a long line from your hips to your hands. So we're not rainbowed up, we're not kind of in our cat position. I want to have a flat back. We're going to inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the left foot forward. And I'm on the ball of the right foot. You can inhale the arms up. Definitely, if you feel wobbly, use the chair. Chair is your friend. And then on the exhale, we're going to place the hands, step that left foot back to meet the right, move back into your downward facing dog. So the intention, my greatest intention is to have that long line from the hips to the arms. Not so worried about the legs. So your knees can be bent if that's helpful, especially if you're really tight in the hamstrings, like I usually am. Take some pressure off by bending the knees. On your next inhale, you look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet forward. Inhale up onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale, lower the heels. Inhale the arms up. Take a tiny back bend if you want. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So my tiny back bend is kind of like this. You want the back bend to kind of almost feel like it's happening between the shoulder blades, not just in your low back. But only go back as much as you feel like you can support it. Not trying to win any, medals in a back bending competition. So we're going to inhale the arms up. Take your tiny back bend. Exhale, place the hands on the chair. Step back into your down dog. We'll do a little bit of additional ab work here. So on the inhale, we'll look at the chair. Exhale, we're going to lift the knee up first, the right knee up, and then place it forward, nice and slow, like you're moving through oatmeal. We're going to inhale here, and then exhale, step it back. So see if you can pull that knee up first, and then step it back. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, hug the left knee in and step it forward. Inhale here. Exhale, hug that left knee in and step it back. So I'll do it from the side to see if that helps a little bit. So you come into your down dog. I'm going to do my left knee since it's closer to you. We're going to inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, hug that left knee in and step it forward. So it takes a lot of core to move it. Inhale here. Exhale, hug that knee in and bring it back. So you're back into your down dog. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, hug the right knee in and step it forward. Inhale here. Exhale, hug that knee up and in and then step it back. Good. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet forward. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, bring both arms up. Tiny back bend if you want. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Good. All right. I'm gonna move to the side of my chair. My left leg is near the chair. I'm gonna lift the right hip up. So I'm pressing down into the left, lifting the right hip. Both legs are straight, and then I'm gonna lower that right hip back down. And then lift the hip and lower. So you're getting an oblique kind of abdominal crunch. Lift that right hip and lower. And one more, lift and lower. So your left side, you're probably feeling it in your quad. And then march it out. I'm moving my chair over to the right side. Pressing down through the right leg. I'm gonna do 4 hip lifts on the other side. Those birds. Lift that left hip and lower. And lift and lower. And last one, lift and lower. And march it out. All right. You can move the chair wherever makes the most sense to you. We're gonna do our balance pose of tree. So the further your legs are apart, the more stable your foundation probably is. I'm bringing my left leg out to the left. You can bring the left foot in or start to bring it up. So we're just not pressing on the actual knee joint. The knee is staying wide as you can. And then focusing on your balance, you can come back to the lotus mudra or Anjali mudra. So the palms are together. And we'll take just 2 more deep breaths here on the side. And then we'll start to lower that foot down, march it out. We'll do the other side. So if you need to move your chair, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Whatever, just so you're able to balance if you need it. The right knee out to the right. Maybe in, maybe up. It's okay if one side is different than the other. And then whatever mudra that you'd like, lotus mudra with the index to ring fingers opened. We'll take just a couple more breaths here. And we'll lower that foot back down and march it out. Now my tom turkey is right on my porch in my she shed. Little stinker. Okay, so we're gonna do our squat variation. So the legs can be zipped up, touching, pressing everything in towards the midline. You can take the feet hip width, so it's about 2 fist distance apart. Or goddess, knees very wide. If you don't want to squat, you want to just sit in the chair and squeeze your glutes, that works too. So pick whatever variation you want. And so from the side, this is your chair, goddess. So pick your variation. I'm going to take a couple breaths here, and I want you to think about something that you're grateful for. I think it's especially important at this point to think about the positive and the things that you're grateful for. It's kind of easy to get hung up in the negative. Two more breaths here. And lower back down. Bringing the legs together. You have the option to cross at the ankle or cross at the knee. You're gonna sit up tall. This is basically our pigeon pose while we're seated. So you can stay here, or if you want, you can hinge forward. And then I'll turn to the side so you can see, whoa, as I fall out of my chair. This would be your hinging forward. So again, we're not rounding, we're hinging. I really wonder what these birds are thinking and saying. They have to seem to say it a lot. You can think every time that the turkey gobbles, you come back to your breath or back to the present moment. And then we'll come back up. Whatever leg you have crossed over the top, we're going to bring that to the back. So I am placing the top of my foot down. You can actually come to the side of your chair too if you want. The top of my foot is down, and I'm opening up that hip flexor that we talked about earlier. Staying very upright and the knee being directly below. That's one option. Kind of moving towards being straight. Now, if you want to increase the stretch, you can start to come back. You can try to move the leg back more, keeping the torso very tall. But it's easy to overstretch this. So just at a straight line would be the best. Taking a couple breaths here. You have the option to twist. So you're twisting towards the side. For me, my left leg is back, I'm twisting to the right. Okay, we bring the leg forward again. You can cross the other ankle over top, ankle to ankle, or the ankle over the knee. Now, for me, my right hip, this when we're on this side, is very, very tight. So it's not necessary for me to hinge forward because it's already a lot of compression for that hip. So if you're like me and you already feel a lot of compression, stay upright. If this is your more open side, maybe you hinge forward a little bit. You can even play around with hinging forward and coming up. Kind of find out what kind of compression, what kind of pressure you like in this hip. We'll take just a couple more breaths here on this side. And this is one of those poses that can be very yin-like. You can do this one anytime. And you can do it for up to 20 minutes. I wouldn't say start out that way. Build up to it. This is one that I should probably do more considering how tight this right hip feels. We'll come back up to our seated upright. Bring that leg back. So I'm gonna move to the side just to show you. So ideally I want my knee straight down from my hip. I've overstretched this side before, so I would not bring my knee further back. I could probably do a little bit with the upper body because it's almost like a core engagement exercise. But I would not personally bring my knee further back because I have a tendency to overstretch this side. Taking a few breaths here like this. And then we're going to twist. So for me, it's my left leg that's out in front and out in front of my body. I'm going to twist to the left. So whenever you're turning towards your leg, that's a closed twist. So this is a closed twist. So if your right leg was forward, you would turn towards the right. And then we'll untwist. Bring the legs back in front. We're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet and let the heels drop. If you're already a walker, you're probably getting all the bone density movements that you need. But if you're not a big walker, it's good to kind of let your heels drop, even stomp your feet. All right, sit up tall again. Place your palm facing the phone or camera, tablet, computer, and we're going to pull the fingers back gently. And reach under for the thumb and gently pull that back towards your body. And then each finger. So moving to the index, middle, ring, and pinky. And then we'll switch sides. So place your other palm out. Pull the fingers back gently. Reach for the thumb. Index. Middle. What's that finger? Ring. And pinky. Shake them out. Take some shoulder rolls to kind of open that back up. Actually, let's reach for the back of the chair or interlace the fingers. And you're going to push the knuckles away. We're opening up through the chest. If you're hanging onto the back of the chair, we're bringing the shoulder blades towards each other and opening through the heart. And then release. We'll interlace the fingers and figure eight the wrists. And then switch direction. And now we'll tap. So the karate chop part of the hand, we're tapping together. And then focus on your mountain pose. Like, so I just lost my mountain pose. Kind of leaning forward. My legs are just doing whatever. So see if I can still maintain my posture while doing the hand exercises. Moving to the heels of the hands, tapping those together. The bottoms of the thumbs, so kind of gentle there. A little ouchy today. So the flat part of my knuckles into my palm. And then switching sides. The backs of the hands. Switch. Interlace. Then hold, switch them all, and go again. And then the web between the thumb and forefinger. And switch. My turkey hen is kind of ditzy, I think. I don't know. She just kind of just randomly runs past the door and then runs back across again. All right. We're going to take our hands and we're going to feel the prana, the chi, life force, whatever you want to look at it, whatever you want to call it. You're going to feel that in your hands, and you're going to place them on a body part or body parts that challenge you, wherever that may be. And so the mudra that we did at the beginning, mudra is also to that life force, the chi, prana, the universe, whatever you want to call it. The lotus mantra is also a mudra of abundance. The lotus flower is a symbol of transformation, moving from darkness to light. It's said to open the heart chakra. And we're supposed to stay connected to our roots and open up to the light. And I can share some information on Facebook or on Instagram about the Lotus Mudra if people are interested. So we're sending energy to those places that our hands are. And I was going to do alternate nostril breathing today, and then remembered that we're not supposed to be touching our faces, right? So we're going to walk our seat bones back into the chair, and we will close with some psychic or imagined alternate nostril breathing. So some people can actually breathe out of only one nostril without like closing it. I am not that person. At least I don't think I am. But we're going to imagine that the breath is moving through only one nostril at a time. So we'll start with breathing normally in through the nose. And then we're going to imagine that we can close our left nostril and exhale only through the right. And then we'll inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. You can even imagine it traveling up your arm. That's the way I like to imagine it, traveling up to my center of the forehead, and then exhaling down the other side, and then inhaling. So inhaling the left nostril, exhaling through the right, inhaling through the right nostril, and exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right. So continue on your own. And if you lose track, you can just start back up or go to a normal breath. Okay, you can go back to your natural breath, inhaling and exhaling through both nostrils. You can bring your hands to your heart. And if you set an intention or set an affirmation at the beginning of class, you can call that back into your mind. If you dedicated the practice to someone, you can bring that. Even just think of something that you're grateful for. I want you to thank yourself for practicing, showing up, practicing with us, and being a part of this community, whether you're live in the Zoom group or you're watching this later. Your presence is felt. May we all feel loved. May we all feel connected. May we all feel grateful. And may we all have the strength, balance, and courage to overcome any obstacles before us. From my heart to your heart, peace. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. And I am going to end the recording and unmute everybody.